Take a look at new and old footage of Lithuania's armed forces and you'll see quite a diversity of equipment. Of course, it's not unique to Lithuania, as any military will change its equipment over time. However, Lithuania, as well as the other Baltic countries, have had their arsenals not only changed because of technological improvements, but because of their regained independence from the Soviet Union and the broad shift towards Western weapons. And so this video will be the first of several videos looking at the small arms of the Baltic nations, starting from the early 90s and a newly independent Lithuania to today. Today, our focus is on pistols used by Lithuania's forces, so let's get started. When it comes to pistols, the post-Soviet Lithuanian military was armed with two types, the Soviet Tokarev TT-33 and Makarov PM. The former is a pre-World War II design, 7.62 by 25mm short recoil, the latter a 9 by 18mm blowback-operated design from early 1950s. Both Soviet designs were obsolete by the fall of the USSR. Tokarev, being an older design, took less common ammunition and was phased out as soon as alternatives became available in the latter part of the 90s. Makarovs shared a similar fate a few years later. The last batches were phased out around 2006 and sold a surplus through the Lithuanian Government Weapons Fund. Due to Lithuania regaining its independence, Western nations were generous enough to help rebuild its military, even if hesitant at first. This is a common theme across many types of weapons and all three Baltic nations. And so, among the first non-Soviet pistols used by Lithuania's armed forces was the Browning High Power, a 9 by 19mm short recoil semi-automatic. Interestingly, the High Power also saw limited use by the Lithuanian military during the later years of the interwar republic, making its post-independence reappearance a curious historical echo. In the modern era, these pistols were acquired in small numbers and saw use until around 2006. However, the quantities involved were insufficient to achieve true standardization. Around the same time, the Czech CZ-75 also saw limited use. These were procured in small batches to meet the need for NATO-compatible sidearms, but especially for early foreign deployments. Like the High Power, they were never fielded in large enough numbers to become a standardized issue, and both came as second-hand surplus. The Colt M1911A1, a 45 ACP short recoil, was acquired in significant quantities, most likely during the 1999 to 2002 period, alongside surplus M14 rifles and other US military aid. All of this came through connections made by one General Jonas Gronkaitis. Refurbished by the Anniston Army Depot, these pistols introduced an additional logistical challenge, a different caliber. This further complicated the already mixed inventory of sidearms. The M1911A1 remained in use throughout the 2000s and 2010s before being gradually phased out around late 2010s and transferred wartime reserves. Although the oldest design in the entire roster, it was generally liked by its users, even earning such nicknames as Ramblamuses or Elephant Killer for its higher firepower. In an effort to simplify logistics and retire the array of aging and mismatched surplus pistols in circulation, Lithuania made its first broad acquisition of brand new pistols between 2004 and 2006 with the purchase of the Austrian Glock 17, a 9 by 19mm short recoil semi-automatic. This marked a clear attempt to modernize and standardize the sidearm inventory across the armed forces. The Glock 17 is now being gradually phased out by the Heckler & Koch SFP9. A major contract to fully adopt the SFP9 came in 2020. That year, a press release from the Ministry of Defense stated, "In order to achieve new quality in the Lithuanian armed forces and ensure provision of modern soldier equipment, the Lithuanian Ministry of National Defense has concluded an agreement with the German company Heckler & Koch and will provide its troops with pistols SFP9 SF Paddle." The SFP9 was selected as the most suitable model after extensive evaluation and testing. The aim was to unify the sidearm platform under a single 9 by 19mm standard, replacing outdated or incompatible legacy systems. We also know that in late 2020, a Lithuanian science and technology magazine published several articles highlighting reasons behind the H&K pistol being selected instead of a weapon from Glock. A representative of Lithuanian Defense Resource Agency was quoted as saying, "Out of 13 models that participated, Glock was one of the participants, but did not submit Model 17 for the testing." After being asked about the cost, the official stated, "With Glock's Generation 5 models, the prices aren't that far apart from H&K. The German entry had stellar performance in adverse conditions as well as superior ergonomics," noting ambidextrous controls as being one of the key advantages. What do you think of Lithuania's pistol choices over time? Do you have a favorite? Let us know by leaving a comment.